Okay, here was lesson number 11 that I forgot to start recording.
Is it recording right now?
Yes.
Hey, Lane.
Hi, Lane.
So we're moving on to lesson 65. Back to parallelograms. We're not going to spend a crazy ton of time, but this is distinguishing what type of parallelogram it is. If you have a parallelogram that has four congruent sides, what do you know that it is?
Congruent. A square. You say parallelogram with four congruent sides?
Yes.
That's a square.
No. It's a rhombus. You don't know
but
anything
it
about the
can be a
angles.
Square. Can be a square.
Okay? You have a parallelogram with A. No. You have a parallelogram with a right angle. What do you know it is? It's a rectangle.
Because the others have to be since they're parallel sides.
Because it's a parallelogram and opposite angles are congruent. Okay? You only know something is a square if it satisfies for a rectangle and a rhombus.
So
Okay?
a rhombus isn't always a square, but a square is always a rhombus.
Correct.
Way to decipher that.
Very, very correct. What if I tell you diagonals are congruent?
Then it is.
Oh, if the
That's
diagonals are
rectangle.
congruent, then it's a rectangle.
Okay, so we have congruent. What did I just say? Congruent.
Diagonal.
Diagonally.
Diagonally. Diagonally.
What about congruent sides? I've already said this one.
rhombi. Wait, is that the plural form of rhombus? Or rhombi?
No.
Rhombus is-
What if I say perpendicular diagonals?
Rhombuses.
No.
Yes. You were wrong.
What other one did I just say? Congruent sides, rhombus. One right angle with a rectangle.
That's a rectangle.
We've already said this. Alright, so these are things we've already learned. What about don't say it out loud yet. What if it bisects? No. Oh, let me just erase. What about diagonals bisect angles? Actually, you could probably say opposite angles.
Rhombus.
What? Wait. Because 2 people are saying answers and 11 other people aren't thinking at all. Okay? Do you have that, Landon? Diagonals that bisect the opposite angles. What is it? You got it, Gray? There really are only 2 options. You have a 50-50 chance.
Rhombus.
That's how
Is it a rhombus? Landon, do you think? Do you agree?
What does that say? A rhombus angles.
Opposite.
Wait, why can't that be a rectangle?
Why can't it be a rectangle?
Because they
I
don't
don't-
bisect.
I feel like
They don't bisect the opposite angles.
They don't bisect at the same.
Okay,
They
so
can't bisect the same.
I mean, if it's a square, it will always be. But I'm gonna make it obviously not a
All
square.
squares are rhombi. Yeah. Oh, you mean
So
like
you're
one-
telling me
one
that
angle is gonna be
This
bigger than
angle
the
and
other
that
side?
angle are the same.
Oh, okay. It's like saying that
Okay.
angle and the other angle are the same.
Oh, I see what you
That
mean by
makes
that
sense.
now.
Okay. So in a rhombus or a square, because I don't really have a square, I don't have a rhombus, a good one.
Wait, does it not have a square thing?
I mean, it doesn't have a rhombus.
A rhombi?
So if I draw a diagonal of a square,
it's 45 degrees.
it automatically becomes a 45, 45, 90. Okay? Because, why? I mean, could we prove that?
Yes, if you wanted to.
If I drew the other diagonal and we knew they were perpendicular,
Then they'd be
all the sides are the same, If we know,
C two.
wait, what do you know about diagonals of a rectangle?
They bisect each other.
Wait, what about? Yes. What do we know about the diagonals of every parallelogram?
They bisect
Not
each
It
other.
equals 3.
They bisect each other.
They bisect each other. So this has to equal that. This has to equal that. So right now we have side, side,
But they
side.
don't always bisect angles. Is that what you're saying? Like at the with the rectangle.
Yeah, diagonals don't bisect the angles. Okay,
Unless
but
it's
in
square.
a square or a rhombus, they do. Because we can prove triangles are congruent. We've got side, side, side right now. So then by corresponding parts of congruent triangles, angles are congruent. Okay? So, identifying specific types of parallelograms. Here's a parallelogram. Can you prove it's a rhombus or rectangle? Okay? These I feel are pretty easy. So we're just going to do a few problems. We're going to start them early.
Lesson practice.
Lesson 65. I'm on page 432.
Are we writing this down or are we talking about it?
And, oh, you're doing them.
Are we not
I mean, if you want to talk about one, we can talk about example 4.
Okay. Let's do it.
Actually, unless we have a lot of.
I was counting them. I thought I counted them earlier.
The sevens. You need this. This one bar. This
Yes. Because there's lots more in there.
Is your
Yeah.
advisory range
Just
every
cheese
time?
is left.
That's baseball stuff.
I feel like there's always.
I play
more.
baseball.
We just had this conversation.
I think we did.
I wasn't in here.
Was it Anderson?
What?
Oh, great.
Okay,
It was
So that's so different.
Alright, we're doing the practice and the stars, but we need to talk about example 4. Is parallelogram PQRS a rhombus? I don't know.
Yes.
How do you know? That's what I want to know is how do you know?
Because the angle.
know?
Oh no! It's not.
What all do you know?
That's a tough one.
Do you know angle S?
Yes.
How do you know angle S?
Because it would be congruent to angle Q.
Yes.
Because they're opposite.
What do you know about PQ and RS?
PQR.
Because they're equal. Maybe.
Okay, they are equal, but do you also know they're parallel? Do you know there's a transversal that goes through them?
Oh, it is a rhombus. Because if you find the triangle, like 180 degrees in a triangle, it's
Okay.
66.
But how do you know those two are both 60?
Because of the
One could be
opposite
50 and
interior
7.
around
By
that.
the diagonals bisect the angles.
Yeah.
And or because it's
No. You don't know that already.
You
You
that.
know
Oh,
it's a-
oh, my.
You know it's a parallelogram. That's all you know.
The opposite interior angles.
So
Actually,
you have parallel lines,
at this point,
transversal, and you know alternate interior angles. Yes. So this is 60 and that's 60. So is it a rhombus?
yes.
Why?
Alternate interior angles.
It
I'm
bisects.
gonna say no.
It bisects the.
That is not a reason.
How do we-
Because
the diagonal
angle-
bisects the angle.
P is bisected by the diagonal. Yes. I mean, there's a lot more reason to that. You probably need a calculator.
You got me one.
Yeah. I really need to buy one.
Yes, you really
I think
do.
mine's up my house.
I broke my mouse.
Like graphing one?
No, it was just like a regular.
Okay.
That's why I didn't get a graphic.
Okay, a graphing calculator will last you for a long time.
Unless you break it.
Well, don't break it.
Unless you do. Easy, just don't break it.
I mean, take care of your stuff. This is a rhombus. So opposite sides equal. So if yeah, or you can put this equal to that, so for x. Either way, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if it was I felt like there was something.
This is Evans.
Yes.
So I added these two together and then set them equal to 180 because it's not going to
Say what?
I added this and made them equal to 180
Okay, what is y?
on the same line.
Is that the length of two lines?
And how do you make them?
So that's a length of y.
Right.
Right.
Oh, add
That-
one.
that- there's no degrees to it.
Well, what do I do now?
So d to
So
o
I
is
did the
x minus
exact
6.
same thing for
And o to x on x.
Oh, so they're equal. Okay. Never mind.
We were typing it out. It's bit.
Correct. Sister.
Oh,